great evening. Please feel comfortable. Go and grab something to drink.
Okay, thanks.
Monica! Welcome.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Welcome to our house.
Thank you so much. Ay, mamita, ¿cómo estás, mi amor?
Bien, gracias. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
Will
me.
be a great evening. Please feel comfortable.
The drinks
Go and
over
grab
there?
something to drink.
All right, here I
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you, baby.
Karen!
How are
Welcome
you?
to our home.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Thanks for coming.
Thank
Will be
you.
a great evening.
Thank
Feel
you.
comfortable. Go ahead and grab something to drink.
Awesome.
Feel comfortable and grab something to drink.
Thank you.
Mary, Shane, welcome to our home. Thank you for coming. Thanks for coming, Shane. Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Let's
Feel
get ready.
comfortable. Get ready. Go ahead and grab something to drink. Thank you. Chris, welcome to our home.
So beautiful.
Thanks for coming. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Party's here. Party is here. Hey. Hey.
Kelly, welcome to my home. Thank you for coming. Thanks, you guys have come from Christina. Welcome to our home. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Will be a great evening.
Yes.
Please feel comfortable and grab something to drink.
Thanks, babe. See you inside.
I haven't eaten anything.
I've smoked.
As for the doesn't have a lot of calories, doesn't have a lot of carbs.
My name is Fanny Scargle, and I'm actually from Colombia, South America. I came in the United States 28 years ago, and not with the purpose that I was gonna end up here living in the United States. It was just for an English program. So I started working with a multinational company back then, and then I realized that in order to move on in the company, I needed to be better on speaking English. So I took this class, this program at UCF in Orlando, and I took it for 9 months. After I was done through that program, then I went to the university and I did an exam just for like the purpose of understanding if my level of English was good enough so I could back to Colombia. So I did a GMAT, which is for like an MBA program. And at the end, I ended up doing really good. And then the university contacted me and asked me, hey, why don't you come and pursue the MBA? And I'm like, I'm a foreigner, so it's gonna cost me 3 times more than a regular person here. So at the end of the day, this lady called me. She says, come over, we'll try to do something for you. So I started signing a document. I have no idea what I was signing off. It could be my death sentence and I have no idea. And I signed it. So she took it, said, bring your transcripts. And then 2 weeks later, I get a phone call and she asked me, hey, come over, your application was approved. And I said, what did I sign? She said it was an assistantship. So I got an assistantship from the university, which she helped me for my program. And then I was able to work with them. So I contacted my dad then. I said, look, listen, I had this opportunity. They're gonna cover 50% of it. So it's a great opportunity. So he said, stay. So I ended up staying, and then I started my program. And through that process, then I wanted to do some sort of activity because it was too much study, it was intense. So I saw that there was a racquetball tournament at the college, and I said, I'm gonna sign up for it, I'm gonna go for it. So I signed up and I went, and I attended this weekend, and when I show up, here it's the only woman, it was me. The rest of them were like students, you know, like 19, 20, 21, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. So I showed up, and then everyone is looking at me kind of weird, and then I said, hey, have you played racquetball? Yes, I did in Colombia. Have you played any tournaments? No tournaments, but I did play. So we started the tournament, and we all had to play against each other. At the end of the tournament, I won the tournament. So everyone was like, oh my God, really? So he said, hey, go and check this club and go and play there because you'll be doing really good. So I ended up going to this place, and I contacted the person that they gave to me. And they said, yeah, we're gonna put you on a match and see the level that you are. And I said, perfect. So I got in this match and I played, they put me in this level, and I started playing local tournaments. at the end of the day, I didn't even realize that I was end up being in the Florida League, playing for Florida. And then like, yeah, now we're gonna go to states. So then I ended up playing states, and then I won states. So then I moved on to regionals. And then regionals was in Miami. So when I was doing the tournament in Miami, then I ended up meeting my husband. So he was playing there at the tournament, and he was already ranked nationally, which I had no idea who he was. I was new into the whole scheme of racquetball. And I ended up winning that weekend the regional tournament. And he obviously ended up doing the regional tournament. So there was a common friend of ours that he said, hey, I want to meet this girl. So do you know her? It's like, yeah, sure. So I was with some friends of mine. And then he comes and says, somebody wants to meet you. And I said, sure, who is it? He says, John Scargle. All the girls that I was with, not even one, they're like, no, you don't want to meet him. You don't want to meet him. He's a playboy. He doesn't like commitment. He's with girls all the time. Well, he was young at that time. And I was like, I'm going to really get to know this guy. Well, I would like to make a toast. I want to thank everyone for joining us here in our house. This is a special moment, all these great ladies, encouraging everyone around the world with your stories. It's gonna be a great dinner tonight, and this is Colombian style. So I want everyone to keep going on what your journey is, and a toast to every single one of you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Thomas. I'm a clinical psychologist. I've been licensed since 2014. I'm licensed in 3 states, in California, New York, and Illinois, and I'm looking to expand my practice now to Florida. So that's me in a quick little nutshell. I practice now in forensics, so I am a court-appointed kind of psychologist where I provide services and connect patients to programs when they are deemed incompetent to stand trial. I have history working in drug treatment, in prisons. When I was in New York, I had my own practice, so I did that there for about 3 years. And let's see, I've worked in DCFS with children. I've worked in nursing homes with death and dying. I've worked in community mental health where probably 90% of my patients look like me, so they were really comfortable when they came in. I mean, I tell kind of anecdotes that when people or patients who come in who look like me, we spend about 5 minutes when they talk about how proud of me they are, and your mom must be so proud, and oh, you remind me of my cousin or my sister. And so the walls that are a part of coming to see a therapist are automatically knocked down because we share culture. And so there are certain things that they being patients just don't have to explain to me because I understand. And it's in our culture from time to time, in other cultures too, going to see a shrink is frowned upon, or people don't talk about, or they think you're crazy. And so when they walk in and they see me, then they're like, oh my gosh, yes, auntie, cousin, sister. And the stigma kind of fades away a little bit. And so then the rapport is built more easily. And then we can kind of dig into why they're with me. So that's the fun part of work.
What made you choose the career?
It actually kind of chose me. So I went to a high school that they offered AP psychology in my senior year, but I didn't get in. So then when I went to college, I went to the Ohio State University. But when I went to college, I wanted to declare a major where you didn't have to do like prerequisites or anything. And so I chose psychology. And then within my first few classes in my freshman year, the professor's like, welcome to psychology, blah, blah, blah. In order to make any money in this field and be successful, you have to get a doctorate, which is 4 years of undergrad and anywhere from 6 to 8 years in graduate school. Now, it's funny to say now, as I sit here as a doctoral psychologist, a doctor in psychology, I don't like school. I like learning, I like experiencing new things, but I don't like the regimen of school. And so when it came to choosing my doctoral program, I chose one where I could get through pretty quickly. I got my master's along the way. In our freshman year, when our teacher said, our professor said you have to go to school extra, I was going to change majors and like make commercials. I can do that. I saw a movie and I was like, oh, I can totally make commercials. It's totally fine. But my mother encouraged me to sing in it. And then by the time I got to the end of my sophomore year and we were taking major classes and learning about the disorders and learning how they manifest and learning how they show up in people's lives, it was just so interesting I couldn't not. And so I ultimately found a program that had me get a master's along the way, and I ultimately got my doctoral degree in 2011. Yeah, there were some bumps in there, and I didn't want to stay in it, and I almost stopped and was really close to stopping. But family and friends kind of rallied around me to give me the boost to keep going.
I'm really proud of you, girl.
Thank you, Miss
A lot of powerful women.
Yes.
A lot
Yes.
of powerful
Yes.
women.
Yes.
A lot of
It's really
powerful
amazing,
women,
I must
for
say.
sure.
It's really amazing.
Oh, we were so poor. We had nothing. Our family did a whole wedding for our honeymoon. My auntie dropped us off at the L station, and we got on the train, and we were so excited because we were going downtown to a hotel. And yeah, so that happened. So we were married for 14 years, and during that 14 years, it was like, okay, I had 4 kids, I had a husband, I felt like I had 5 kids. Seriously, I did. I didn't feel like I knew myself anymore. I knew what my husband liked, I knew what my kids liked. I was just overwhelmed because I taught my husband how to cook, how to drive, how to keep a job. I used to get hired with him on a job. Stay for a month, take the test for him. We go together. I would take the test for him on this job. Get hired with him so he could stay on the job, then not quit. Because once he gets in a job, he'll stay there. And then I'll quit and he'll keep the job. So after a while, that can get real taxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I lost myself. And we got to the point where we were like bickering and, I don't like your hair, you don't like my hair, I don't like your talk, you don't like my talk. So I ended up divorcing him. We got divorced, it was final November 22nd, 2003. We were married for 14, we're divorced for 17 years.
Wow.
He got remarried, I got remarried. He was married for 7 years, I was married for 9 months.
Oh, wow.
9 months.
9 months.
Okay,
Yeah, we
so-
dated for 2 years, the guy I was with, and then we got married. He got jealous of my children.
Oh,
Good
thing it only lasted 9 months.
Yeah.
Bye.
Anyone that comes in between your kids.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Disgusting.
So I put him to the side. So I moved back to Chicago, and he hated my guts. Well, I thought he hated my guts, because every time he seen me, he'd just grab. He would call me in the middle of the night, stay out of my dreams, stay out of my head. I'm like, what did I do? What am I talking about? By the time we got to San Diego, we knew we wanted to be together.
Aww. That's so sweet.
But we got to play the game.
It
So
took
like
you 31 hours.
31 hours.
Did you Route 66?
Huh?
But
You
no
drove on Route
interruptions
66?
though, think about
I don't
it.
know the route.
No
I just know the
interruptions
conversation was in there.
and nothing else
All
but
I did
there.
was sleep. He drove. All I did was
You
sleep.
probably
You
drove
don't
through
normally
Oklahoma,
have
though.
that
Yeah.
because you have to pick up the phone or you have to do something, but this is 31 hours with both of them and
Right.
that's it.
No distraction.
Nobody,
So
no
that's-
distraction.
That's what
And
makes
then
it
something
different.
rolls, the phone dies, so you can't even play music.
Exactly.
'Cause it's
That's-
not-
No
So
distractions.
we talked, we got there. So, guys are real easy. In my head, I already knew I was going to get him back. So, I had to, I had to play the game like, no. He was like, you want to go on that date? I was like, no. I make sure, how we put on the cute stuff and drops out, oops. So
Let me pick that up slowly.
Don't you miss this after 17 years? Don't you miss this?
I think we've need
So he took me on a date that night. I was like, okay, so we went on this date, and he was all goo-goo eyes. I said, look at this man. He was like, he's doing all that. I was like, oh my God. So of course, I was like, I'm getting my man back, but I let him know. So we got back to Chicago and everything. So I had a condo in downtown Chicago. He still had the house that we lived in when we got married. He kept the house. I took the kids and left him with everything. And he started coming over to my house every day, and I was like, what we doing here? I said, because I don't play house with my baby daddy. He was like, I want my wife back. I was like, so when we getting married? He said, Saturday. I said, He said,
Saturdays.
Yeah, he said Saturday. He said, I said, when we go get the license, because us as women, we always talking a good game. I was like, so when we go get the license? He said Tuesday. I was like, okay. We walked to City Hall, got the license, got married that Saturday in the living room of our condo. And then I told him, I said, I want a really big wedding. I said, because our first wedding, we were poor. I said, I want everything I didn't have before. So we got married in 2003. We got married December 5th of 2020, and we got married again September 18th of 2021.
Wow.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Rivera, and I was born and raised in Queens, New York, but I moved to Tampa about 20 years ago. But a little bit about who I am. So I'm one of those girls that didn't take no for an answer. So growing up in New York, I loved being in sports. But back in the day when I was growing up, there weren't a lot of sports for women. And so I would actually go to the ball field and watch my brother play baseball, wishing all along it was me on that field, but I didn't have that opportunity. So I was super excited when I went to high school because there were so many options. But when I looked at the list of all the sports available, I noticed the one sport that I wanted to take advantage of only had a boys gymnastics team. So I decided, you know what? I'm not going to take no for an answer. I went out for the boys gymnastics team in a time when girls were never allowed to do that. So when I walked into the gym, I remember all heads turning and they're looking at me like, excuse me, I think you got to the wrong gym. Girls' gym's all the way down at the other end. I'm like, no, I know exactly where I am. I'm trying out for the boys gymnastics team. And the coach looked at me and he's like, should I allow her in? Like, is that something I should do? And honestly, he didn't know what to do, but he let me in. So for 2 weeks, every day, I would go to the boys gymnastics team tryouts. I would go there, and it was a Friday, and they were going to put the list up. And I was called to the principal's office. And the principal looks at me and he's like, Carolyn, why should I let you join the boys gymnastics team? And I'm like, because I'm better than some of the guys trying out. And he looks at the coach and the coach said, well, because she's better than some of the guys trying out. So I tried out for the reality show Survivor. And people would ask me, why would you want to be dropped off on a deserted island in one outfit where you have to fight for everything and, you know, you've got no food and it's freezing and you're with crazy people? I'm like, sign me up! Sounds like New York! I feel like I'm home! Queens in the house!
Sounds like the E train.
Yeah, exactly. So I went on Survivor and
Go back and watch it.
season 30 Worlds Apart.
All right.
Go watch us on Hulu. It's on Hulu. Go ahead. Yes. Second place in the house.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, but it is a $900,000 loss. So just to get between first and second, I'm like, God damn it! Right. So if anyone does want to go on the show Survivor, the key is you should know some survival skills.
Imagine that.
I'm like, I worked up until the day before I left, and I thought, well, surely somebody's gonna have those skills. Not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah. We didn't eat for 4 days until we lost the first challenge, and then we got flint, and then it took us 5 hours with flint to learn how to make a fire.
Wow.
So and yeah.
You mean to tell me this spicy attitude and just shoot flames?
No, I thought I was that spicy. Okay, I checked myself. I brought my reading glasses because on one of the seasons I saw them use reading glasses to start a fire. So I'm like, I could certainly do that. 5 hours later, I had like smoke for like 10 seconds. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna make fire, and then. So yeah, no, but anyway, it was a great experience. I was
Never take it back.
I would never take it back.
So my name is Monica Roche Rogers Rudd. Rogers is my maiden name, so I wanted to keep it along with it. My husband doesn't like it as much, but you know. I am married. I've been married for 12 years. I have 3 beautiful children. Actually just had a son December 26, 2020. So that was rough all in itself. He was actually 10 pounds. 10 pounds, 11 ounces actually. And it was natural. So that was really tough, especially during COVID. Yeah, that was just really tough. I just gonna get too emotional going through that. He's actually the first boy as well out of all of my siblings. It's 5 of us, and no one has had a boy, so I've had the first boy. So that was something really big. I also have 3 dogs. I model and I act. That's more so on the side. Would love that to be my career, but my main job is a nutrition educator. I teach women how to properly breastfeed, allowing the baby to latch properly, teaching them how to allow milk production to flow properly, and then I teach just the regular health education as far as eating your fresh fruits, veggies, different things like that.